I want to talk to you a little bit about drama. I want to talk about my experience with drama, how I deal with drama, and I'm sure a lot of you, like, sometimes tea can be fun, right? A little bit of drama, and like you hear it about somebody else, solid, right? Like, interesting to listen to. When the drama involves you and you're stressed out because somebody's mad at you, somebody said something about you, somebody did something, this is a great video to be watching on maybe some tips I have. Number one, it's always gonna not feel good. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, maybe you got some friends that are talking shit, maybe you got some coworkers or whatnot, people that are causing you problems, right? For me, it's specifically, I have created a quite a large friend group at the gym, right? But some people don't like each other, and then if I hang out with them, sometimes people get a little weird with me, and it's like, why are you worried about what I'm doing at all? Like, I'm cool with you, I'm cool with them. If you're mad at them, great, right? Don't be mad at somebody for liking somebody that you don't like because they did something to you, right? Like, I think it's okay that we can all have different relationships and different dynamics with people. Just because they're one way or the other should not affect the way that you control how somebody needs to act in front of like you, or what they need to do because somebody did something to you, right? Like, number one, I think that's whack. Number two, though, is it can be very hard to deal with like people that are creating drama or people that stir the pot. Now, the first and obviously the easiest thing to do is to cut some of those people off, right? That is a very, very solid way to stop drama. If you know somebody is constantly causing drama or is involved in drama, just kind of staying away from them, right? Or very much limiting what you say. And I think that could probably go into tip number two or whatever, however you want to describe this, but is give as little fuel to the fire as possible. Meaning, don't say extra shit, right? Don't add extra things in there, because they're going to use that either against you or against the other person, or eventually it's going to come up and it's going to be a problem, right? So there's certain things, and I think I'm a bit, for sure, obviously doing this, but I'm a bit of an overshare, right? I probably say too many things. I probably need to be more quiet. And even at work, I have an individual who will sometimes get involved in something and likes to make sure everyone knows about what this person said about them or whatever, right? Because sometimes people are going to say things about you that you don't want to hear, but they're just mad at you in the moment, and that's maybe okay. We don't necessarily need to like interact with that, right? But it's really annoying when somebody says, oh, Bob was talking shit about you, dude, like, and it's like, okay, like, whatever. The next thing that you can do if you are involved in drama, you've said something that you shouldn't have said, you did something that you wish you wouldn't have done but have now done, is, check this out, to fucking not talk about it, right? Don't discuss it, don't say anything about it, especially if it's like relatively small. A simple thing of just overplaying it, like, cool, like, so one good way, or one potential example is, hey, Robert talked shit about you, and then be like, there's probably a lot of shit to talk about me, and then like just move on, right? Very good way of being like, oh, he doesn't give a fuck. Like, I'm not going to continue this because there's no fuel to this fire. There is no ammo to continue. The more you tweak about it, the more you interact with it, the more that it's like, okay, well, yo, dude, I can't believe he said that about you, right? And you're just like, really? Like, I can be kind of douchey sometimes, or I could be an asshole. So I might have been a little bit rude to him. And then just move on. And also, you don't necessarily need to discuss it. Like, let that shit fucking drop. And if you kind of feel like you're stuck and you're not really sure what to do, the best thing to do is to really think things out, not to give a statement until that statement is very clearly thought out, of what you're going to say. Think about what the responses to that individual might have, and then how do you want to counter or respond to those points further. I think a lot of those things will help you guys improve with dealing with drama. I think the best thing to do is to try not to say too much about too many people, and ideally trying to be cautious of what you're saying to what type of people, because then you can kind of get a balance of how people are going to act, right? So at the beginning, be careful with what you say until you know who that person is. Once you know who that person is, then you can kind of go in a certain direction. And if something is said that you wish wasn't said, simply ignore it, address it, or joke about it, right? And then usually that way you can kind of eliminate most of the basic stuff. So, you know, be smart with what you're doing, be cautious, and be conscious of how you're acting, what you're saying, and what you're doing, right? Because sometimes drama can be caused by you know, pushing somebody, or you fighting, you know, dealing with road rage and you know, trying to fight somebody on the side of the street, and now you got to deal with, like, you know, cops or legal shit. And ideally it's just better if we can avoid it, to avoid it altogether.